Well, the transfer window is fully up and running now, and all the Premier League clubs are looking to get their business done as early as possible, with the Premier League season set to start in around 6 weeks' time. One club that looks set to be particularly busy are Arsenal, who are looking to bring in a number of attacking players. Myself, Tom McGarry and Bobbie Jackson have had a look at some of the players that have been linked with a move to the Emirates Stadium, and perhaps most prominently, Bobbie, over recent days, is Crystal Palace winger Wilfried Zaha. He's an integral part of the Eagles squad, and it's believed Arsenal have tabled a £40 million bid.
Yeah, it's been turned down by Crystal Palace, and no surprises about that. They're looking for around about £80 million, aren't they? And this is just so typical Arsenal, isn't it? I mean, the transfer strategy over the last few years has been absolutely woeful. They tend to go in with these low ball offers, maybe trying to unsettle players, hope that then when the interest has been registered, the player might kick up a fuss and they might get it for a cheaper price. We know that Arsenal have got a reduced, restricted budget this summer, around about £40 million. That's the offer they've gone in with. I can see Zaha going to Arsenal later this summer. I think it is a deal that could come off. But I think Arsenal are somehow going to have to raise their offer, come up with some funds. We're looking maybe about £60, £70 million. If you look at Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who's just left for Manchester United, not as experienced as Zaha, he's gone for £50 million. I think you've got to be coming in with a higher offer if Arsenal are serious about getting their man.
Yeah, of course, Arsenal do have other attacking options. They've been linked with a number of players. Yacine Brahimi, most recently, someone who could come in. He doesn't quite have the Premier League experience of others, but he would be a much cheaper option than Zaha. Ryan Fraser at Bournemouth as well has been linked. Even Jared Bowen, who currently plays in the Championship with Hull City. So there's alternative options there for Arsenal, but I suppose it's about how ambitious and how much they really want to go at and attack the Premier League next season.
Exactly that. I mean, Emirates did a good job in his first season, didn't he? But clearly feels that there is room for improvement, knows that he has to bring in players to do that. You mentioned Brahimi, he's actually available on a free now. He's run down his contract with Porto, enjoyed his best ever goal-scoring season last term as well. He got 13 goals in 49 games, a former Granada man. He's well-travelled and he's well-regarded on the international scene, an Algeria international. I think he would fit in at Arsenal. He's a good player, strong as well, and I think that's why he suits the Premier League. He's not your typical will-o'-the-wisp type winger that's going to be knocked off the ball quite easily. Fraser is the other one you mentioned. Of course, he does have that Premier League experience and would come in at a much cheaper price than Wilfried Zaha. But I suppose the big question about Arsenal is, why are we only talking about forward players? It's been about 2 or 3 years now. We've been suggesting that Arsenal need to strengthen at the back. We're yet to see them linked with any centre-backs this summer.
Yeah, that's the biggest surprise for me as well. They desperately need a central defender, one at least, probably two, you would have to suggest. The only defender they seem to be being linked with is Celtic left-back Kieren Tierney, but he's an attack-minded wing-back, if you like. He's not someone who's necessarily going to come in and shore up that back four.
Exactly that. I mean, he'll be out on that left-hand side. Again, there seems to be an issue with the valuation. Celtic are looking for around about £20 million. Arsenal are understood to have come in at around about 12 to 14 million. So they may find a compromise on that one, more so than when we were talking about Zaha, and there's a huge gulf in the valuations. But I think Arsenal definitely need to reassess the way that they're approaching this window. There has been talk as well, of course, of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang maybe leaving Manchester United, reportedly interested. That's something that came out a couple of weeks ago and has maybe been gathering some pace, and that might be how they have to go about this, by moving on one or maybe even two players. Lucas Torreira, the midfielder, has been linked with AC Milan. If they can get a bit of money in for those players, then they've got more freedom to go into the market and get the players that they really want.
Yeah, it could be a fine balancing act for Arsenal in terms of moving players on and bringing others in and not weakening themselves in the process. Certainly it's going to be a big summer for Unai Emery's side. Don't forget to check us out on social media via Facebook or Twitter, and also subscribe to us on YouTube.